mocked for being human. She spoke to the dragons and became a legend. Beginning. The city of Kareth pulsed like a jewel in the night, its skywalks glittering with veins of neon, its towers clawing at the heavens. Yet beneath the sheen of progress, the divisions ran deep. Kareth belonged to the Draken, the humanoid descendants of dragons. They were scaled, tall, and regal, their eyes glowing faintly in the dark. Their wings, though smaller than the dragons of old, marked them as heirs of ancient power. Humans, however, were another matter. Once the dominant species, they had dwindled into irrelevance after centuries of genetic intermingling and selective engineering. The Draken saw humans as frail, primitive, unworthy of command. They were tolerated as servants, laborers, or curiosities. That was the world Kaelin had been born into. She had always known she was different. In school, she was a lone human in a class filled with scaled children who sneered at her flat nails, her soft skin, her lack of wings. When the teacher spoke of the glorious bloodline of dragons, eyes always turned toward her, mocking. Don't burn yourself, soft skin. Careful, Kaelin. You might trip over your own feet. Why are you even here? Shouldn't you be polishing scales instead of learning? She ignored it, mostly. She buried herself in books, in old legends whispered by her grandmother, legends of dragons that once flew higher than the towers of Kareth, of humans who had spoken to them as equals, not as inferiors. Remember, Kaelin, her grandmother would say, her voice thin but firm. The old bond between dragon and human was not made of blood. It was made of words, of respect, of courage. Kaelin wanted to believe it, but whenever she spoke of such things aloud, she was laughed at. Dragons were long extinct, nothing more than bones in museums. Only the Draken remained, and they ruled the world. Still, a restless yearning stirred inside her chest whenever she looked at the night sky, when the stars glimmered like dragon eyes. The turning point came on a school expedition. Kaelin's class had been brought to the ruins of Pirith, a cavern system where dragon fossils were displayed. The Draken students preened and posed beside the massive bones, boasting of their lineage. Kaelin wandered away, deeper into caverns, her footsteps echoing against stone. She wanted quiet, away from the jeers. That was when she heard it, a low rumble. It wasn't machinery, nor the whisper of wind. It was a sound that vibrated through her bones, ancient and alive. Her heart hammered. She followed the noise, slipping past a barrier marked restricted. The air grew heavy, metallic, charged with strange energy. At the cavern's heart, she found it, a colossal egg, veined with light, pulsing faintly as though with a heartbeat. She froze. Impossible. Dragons were extinct. Yet the egg shell shimmered, breathing with power. Then, in her mind, a voice. Deep, resonant, curious. Who disturbed my slumber? Kaelin gasped, nearly stumbling backward. The voice wasn't sound. It was thought, pressed into her skull. I'm sorry, she whispered. I didn't mean... A human. The voice carried surprise, then amusement. How strange. The scale once claimed they are my kin, yet it is you who answers. Kaelin trembled. Who are you? A dragon unborn. A memory of fire. You may call me Riser. Her throat tightened. Dragons are extinct. Extinct. The cavern shook with a growl of disbelief. No. Forgotten, perhaps, but not gone. You are proof enough. Human child, with courage to speak where others cower. Kaelin's breath caught. He was real. Her grandmother's stories were real. For weeks afterward, Kaelin returned in secret, sneaking away whenever she could. She and Riser spoke in whispers of thought and heart. He asked of the world above, and she told him of neon towers and Draken pride. He told her skies that once burned with wings, of bonds between dragon and human broken by greed and arrogance. Yet each time she left, she carried his words like embers inside her. One evening, however, she was followed. Lareth, the son of a prominent Draken counselor, cornered her as she left cavern. His scales gleamed gold in the torchlight, his wings half spread in arrogance. So this is where the little soft-skin scurries off to, he sneered. What are you hiding, Kalen? A stash of old bones to worship. Leave me alone, she snapped, clutching her satchel. He smirked. Or what? You'll scratch me with your dull claws? Humans can't command dragons. Everyone knows that. Her heart froze. He knows. Before she could push past him, Riser's voice thundered inside her skull. Do not fear. Speak. Kalen lifted her chin. You're wrong, Lareth. Humans did command dragons. We spoke to them as equals, when your kind was still crawling from shadows. His laughter echoed cruelly. Prove it. Then, summon your mighty dragon. Oh, wait, you can't. His words stung, but Kalen didn't falter. She pressed her palm to the cavern wall and whispered, Riser. The air trembled. Light spilled from the cracks in the egg. The cavern filled with roars so powerful that even Lareth stumbled back, his golden scales paling. A massive shape unfurled in shimmering fire, not yet flesh but spirit. Riser, the unborn dragon, vast and terrible. His eyes burned like twin suns as he fixed them on Lareth. Mock her again, little pretender, and you will know the taste of fear. Lareth collapsed, wings quivering. He fled without another word. Kalen stood frozen, her heart a storm. You revealed yourself. And so did you, Riser rumbled. The bond is real, Kalen, stronger than her arrogance. News spread swiftly. Lareth told the council, spinning lies about Kalen commanding forbidden forces. Humans were not allowed power. The Draken feared it. Soldiers came for her home at dawn, shattering the door. Her grandmother wept as Kalen was dragged away, accused of heresy, of awakening what should remain buried. The council chamber loomed vast, lined with winged figures staring down at her. Laretha's father, Counselor Vanar, spoke with venom. This human dares claim kinship with dragons? Insolence. Extinct creatures cannot be summoned by a frail softskin. Kalen trembled, but she remembered Riser's voice. Speak. She raised her head. You fear me because you know the truth. Dragons are not your bloodline. They are older, greater. And they choose who listens, not by scales or wings, but by heart. The chamber erupted in laughter, cruel and dismissive. A human child lecturing us? But then the earth shook. The cavern beneath Kareth cracked. Fire burst skyward as the egg shattered. From its heart rose Riser, not spirit now, but flesh, vast wings unfurling to shadow the city. His roar shook towers, shattered glass. Draken fell to their knees, their pride crumbling to dust. Kalen stood alone in the center, the only one unafraid. Riser's gaze met hers. Speak, Kalen. What shall I do? The council trembled. The Draken screamed for her silence, for her death. But Kalen remembered her grandmother's words. The bond was made of respect, not blood. She lifted her voice, steady and clear. Do not destroy them. They are blinded by pride, but they are still part of this world. Show them that dragons do not bow to arrogance or cruelty. Show them mercy. For a long, terrible moment, the dragon's maw opened, fire glowing deep in his throat. Then he closed it, rumbling softly, spoken like one worthy of the old bond. He turned his gaze on the council. Remember this, children of arrogance. It is not scales or wings that bind us to greatness. It is courage, compassion, and truth. Ending. In the days that followed, Kareth was never the same. The Draken, humbled, could no longer deny what they had seen. A human, mocked, despised, powerless, had spoken to a dragon when they could not. Kalen was freed, no longer servant nor outcast. Yet she refused the titles and riches offered to her. She chose instead to walk among both Draken and human, carrying Riser's teachings, mending the broken bond between species. Riser did not vanish. Sometimes he soared above the city, a shadow against the stars, a reminder of power restrained by wisdom. And always, his voice echoed in Kalen's mind, guiding her. Her name spread far beyond Kareth, across continents, across stars. Humans whispered of her as their champion. Draken spoke of her with awe and unease. And everywhere, she was remembered as a girl who dared speak to a dragon and became a legend.